You have been wearing a threat signal into your yard, not intentionally, not knowingly, but the moment you step outside in that red jacket, every bird within sight of you makes an immediate assessment, and that assessment has nothing to do with who you are. It has everything to do with what you are wearing. The cardinal at your feeder does not see a familiar person in a red jacket. It sees a rival male in its territory right now, and it responds accordingly. This channel exists to show you what is actually happening between you and the birds outside your window. Subscribe to Bird Pulse, because what you are about to learn will change the way you get dressed on bird watching mornings. To understand what is happening in your yard, you first need to understand what red means to a cardinal. A male northern cardinal is one of the most aggressively territorial birds in the American backyard. From March through August, breeding season, he defends his territory with extraordinary intensity, and he identifies his rivals by color. Red equals male cardinal. Male cardinal equals competitor. Competitor equals threat. This is not a vague association. This is a neural pathway, hardwired by millions of years of evolution, that fires the moment red enters his visual field. Researchers at the journal Behavioral Ecology tested exactly this. They placed red objects, red cloth, red painted decoys, inside cardinal territories and measured what happened. The cardinals attacked. They dive bombed the red objects. They sang aggressive territorial songs at them. They treated a piece of red fabric with the same hostility they would direct at a living rival. And here is what the research showed most clearly. The brighter the red, the more intense the aggression. Bright red triggered maximum attack response. Dull red triggered less. Orange triggered almost none. Your red jacket, bright, vivid, moving, sits at the maximum end of that scale. The cardinal does not think you are a cardinal, but the color red is such a powerful territorial trigger that he overrides the other information the bird is processing. It sees red. It sees large. It sees moving. It sees inside my territory. The threat response fires before the bird has time to complete a more complex assessment. There are documented cases of male cardinals repeatedly attacking car mirrors, windows, and people wearing red hats for weeks at a time. The bird cannot distinguish the reflection or the clothing from an actual rival. Red is the signal, and you are broadcasting it at maximum volume. But the cardinal is not the only bird in your yard receiving this signal. The robin is watching too. Male American robins have red-orange breasts, and that coloration functions as a territorial signal in exactly the same way cardinal red does. Studies on robin territoriality have documented aggressive responses to red-orange objects placed in their territory. Orange surveying flags, red garden stakes, red clothing. A robin that sees you wearing red does not attack the way a cardinal might, but it raises its threat assessment of you immediately. It checks the sky more often. It stays farther away than it would otherwise. It feeds less calmly, because part of its attention is now directed at the red signal moving through its territory. You have not done anything threatening, but you are wearing something threatening. And to the robin, those two things are the same. And then there is the hummingbird, whose relationship with red is the most complicated of all. Male ruby-throated hummingbirds have iridescent red throat patches called gorgets that they use in territorial displays. They are extraordinarily aggressive. They will chase rival males out of their territory with a persistence that seems almost personal, but hummingbirds are also drawn to red. Red tubular flowers, trumpet vine, cardinal flower, these are primary nectar sources. Red means food. Red also means rival. So the hummingbird brain holds two conflicting associations for the same color. When you wear red near a hummingbird feeder, the bird investigates first. It approaches, it processes, and then, once it determines you are not a flower, some males will buzz you, dive at you, display at you. You triggered the rival response from a bird the size of your thumb because you were wearing the wrong color. But the territorial response is only one layer of what red triggers in birds. Red is also the color of danger in nature. Poisonous dart frogs, venomous insects, toxic berries. Many of the most dangerous things in the natural world use red as a warning signal, a visual broadcast that says, "Do not approach." Birds learn this. Insect-eating birds develop strong avoidance of red and black patterns, red and yellow patterns, because those color combinations are associated with things that fight back or cause harm. When you wear bright red, especially combined with high contrast patterns, you may trigger a learned warning response in birds that have associated those colors with danger. They do not think you are poisonous, but you do not fit the safe category they have learned. And that uncertainty makes them wary. And there is one more layer. The red-tailed hawk, one of the most common and most feared predators of small backyard birds, is named for the red-brown tail feathers that are visible when it soars overhead. Songbirds scan the sky constantly for hawks, and one of the visual cues they use is color. A flash of red-brown moving through the periphery can trigger an immediate freeze response because it resembles hawk coloration. When you wear red and move through your yard, especially if you move suddenly, birds may fire that split-second predator alert before they have processed that you are human. The response fades quickly, but in that moment, the red you are wearing has placed you in the same visual category as the thing your birds fear most. Now, here's the part that most people never consider. You do not wear red every day. Most days you wear muted colors, greens, browns, grays, and the birds in your yard have learned to trust you. They have habituated to your presence. They know your face, your movements, the rhythm of your mornings. They have decided you are safe. And then you wear red. And they have to start over. Is this the same human? Is this a new threat? The uncertainty resets part of the trust they have built. And while they reassess, they do not feed. They do not relax. They keep their distance. If you wore red every single day, they would eventually habituate to it. They would learn that red-clothed person equals safe person. But sporadic red, worn once a week, once a month, resets the process every single time. You spend days earning their trust, and one morning, without thinking, you erase part of it. The birds in your yard are visual animals. Their survival, every single day, depends on reading color accurately and quickly. Territorial signals, warning coloration, predator identification, all of it communicated in color. When you wear red, you are stepping into a visual communication system that has been evolving for millions of years, and you are sending a signal you never intended to send. Now you know what that signal means. Now you know what fires in the cardinal's brain the moment it sees you. Now you know why the robin stays farther away, why the hummingbird buzzes you, why the yard goes slightly quieter, slightly more alert every time you wear that jacket. You were not doing anything wrong. You simply did not know the language. Now you do. And the next time you reach for that red jacket on a quiet bird watching morning, you will think about what you are about to broadcast, and you will make a choice. Tell me in the comments, do you own red clothing? Have you ever noticed birds acting differently around you when you wear it? I want to hear what your birds have been trying to tell you. I read every single one. Welcome to Bird Pulse.